I think that men have conditioned themselves to see other men as the enemy. And there's a specific situation that happened to me, but I was a part of in the last few days that I think is a little bit eye opening. Uh, so I was at the gym and I was reading a book, The Ageless Brain, about how people are getting Alzheimer's early on because they're not, for a slew of reasons. But that's what I was reading. It's not really relevant to this conversation. But, anyways, I'm walking into the locker room. I'm about to work out. I'm just like, I'm in a state of just like, I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying life. And I think I have too strong peripheral vision because I look out of the corner of my eye and I see someone kind of mocking me behind me. And I guess this is where I made the mistake, where I could have just laughed it off. I took it a little bit too seriously in that moment. Maybe I wasn't in the best headspace, but I was trying. And I turned and like looked at him. I just like chuckled, but in kind of like a condescending way, to be real with you. And it was a group of brothers that I'd seen a couple days back. They came and sat next to me. Maybe I should have made conversation then, but I didn't. uh, so so the conversation had to come in some way, right? So I one of the middle brother, one of the older brothers, kind of, he noticed that I noticed what he was doing, and he kind of walked off. And then the middle brother is like, "You got a problem, bro?" to me, and I'm just like, first of all, in my head, like, I'm not. I don't want to fight with people. You know what I'm saying? I know that fighting is just it does much more harm than good. But I was like, "Do I know you?" To him, and we kind of had a mini standoff, and the other brothers kind of puffed up their chest after. The older brother, especially, came to, um, just came like got into a state of this could be like a altercation. And there's multiple bays in the locker room, and I was going to go in the second, but then I became petty, and in that moment I walked in the first one. I was like, I don't know, do we have a problem, bro? Why are you staring at me? What, like, why are you trying, in my head I was like, why are you trying to test me? I don't even know you. Like, I pretty much said to him, and he said, he had said something. I don't remember. I can't recall what he said, but they just kept repeating, "Do we have a problem, bro?" And all three kind of surrounded me a little bit. Not surrounded me, but like they're all three were in my frame of vision. And in that moment, I'll be real with you. Like, I'm not. I don't want to fight. It's not about, can I take physical pain. I take physical pain every single day. But it's self-created, like, as in, to be specific, so it doesn't sound like I'm self-harming. I do a plank in the sauna for 30 minutes straight, in like 180-degree heat, and I do a cold plunge for about 30 to 40 minutes in 50-degree water. So I'm no stranger to physical pain, and I don't mind it. But I am there's a little bit. I'm going to stand my ground. I'm not going to yield. I'm not going to yield. Especially if someone is trying to test me. Maybe I should have just walked off, but in that moment, that's where I kind of made the mistake. I went into my animal based, like, instincts, my, if you will, old self patterns, where I returned their aggression. They gave me aggression, so I returned it. Uh, yeah, and I just kept telling. I said, I don't know you. The older brother looked at me. He's like, if you're gonna swing, bro, well, you gotta do it now. And I was just like, bro, I don't know you. Why would I want to fight you? You know what I'm saying? I don't even know your name. That's what I said to him. And then we just had like a standoff there for like maybe like a minute, like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Quite a while. We were just like staring at each other. It was it, it was just being too. It was just the macho type bullshit that I don't and normally don't subscribe to. So I think I made a mistake, but I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes from time to time. But then I realized, I'm like, bro, like, it is so dumb. That's so dumb to fight someone you don't know. Like, why would I do that? I don't mind fighting itself. First of all, I'm more fearful that I'm going to get out of my who I am by inflicting physical pain on someone else. Um, I'm not scared of like getting hurt myself, if that makes sense. Like, I don't, I'm kind of like a maniac in that sense. I do it to myself. So I it's not that's not that I'm scared. I'm scared of more so compromising who I am to go to basically a big regression. I don't want to. First of all, ideally in that situation, I would need to separate my emotions from what's actually logical. Which logical is that we don't know each other. We have no reason to fight. So I just tried to disarm it, and I put my hand out and I said, "What's your name, man?" I just tried to humanize him. And then he said, "I don't have a name." I was like, the classic response ever. Classic. And then I was like, "Why do we have to do this? I don't know you, and I don't want to fight." And I said, "I seen you walking behind me and mocking me. That's why I turned around." and I and and I think one of the other brothers had said something too. I don't remember what, but then I asked him, I'm like, I think I saw you three with your with like I first of all, I asked him his name a couple times and he just didn't respond. And then when he shook my hand, he squeezed the shit out of my hand. I was just trying to give him a genuine handshake and he squeezed the shit out of it. I was like, damn, that boy has some good grip strength. Like, I thought I had some good grip strength with the amount of muscle ups that I can do. And by the way, I hit my PR the other day of 14 muscle ups in a row. That's a new one for me. Need a little bit of a flex here and there. But yeah, all in all, he just squeezed the shit out of my hand. I'm like, bro, are we still really doing this? And then I tried to connect again. I was like, I seen you three with I asked him, are you guys all brothers? And he said, no, we're not. And I'm like, oh, so you just happen to fucking look like each other. Exactly like each other. And then I was just smiling. And but I did have my chin held up high, signaling that I'm not I don't know, I still was in the animal base, like I'm not backing down from this. And yeah, after that, I said, I seen you guys in the cafe with your dad the other day. And then one of them finally gave me like a rope in this situation. He's like, no, that's not our dad, that's our uncle. He passed away. Our father passed away a while back. And then I was just like, I didn't expect that, so I just said, well, I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna offer you fake sympathy. And one of them said that the middle one was like, first of all, the middle one was confronted me. The one that confronted me, for he said, well, that's real, man. And then I asked the younger one, like, what do you guys do? Because they were wearing like some clothing that was got paint on it a little bit, or ruffled up a little bit. I would assume they did some sort of manual labor type job. I asked him, what are you doing? And he said, I think they're still in that mode of like trying to joke around. Who knows if they were or not? But he said, we try to make ends meet. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, he might have thought that I would like look down on that, but like, to be real, I'm broke myself right now, so I don't. I didn't even bat an eye. I was like, okay. And he said, no, I was just joking. We're in construction. And then he asked me what I did, and I said, well, I was in consulting for a number of years, for about 5 years. It was good money, but I feel like I was losing my soul. And then he said, oh, it was taking away who you are. And I said, Yeah, and then I said I'm a fitness trainer, but I slurred the fitness because I was still in like a maybe like a hormonal, like my hormones fluctuating at that moment. I was like, I didn't know what to feel. So it's a fitness trainer, and he said, "Oh, I thought," and the younger was like fitness trainer, and then the middle one's like, "No, he said fitness trainer." I said, "Yes, I'm a fitness trainer, but I ain't finished yet." And they all laughed, and after that they introduced themselves. The older one said, "My name's Sal," and then the other two mentioned their names, James and Brandon. And I introduced myself. We gave our ages to each other, uh, and I feel like in that situation it could have went multiple ways. And I even thought about it after. I'm like, was I just being like scared? It's not that I'm scared of fighting multiple people. I've had multiple people approach me when I was in college, up to 13 from a rival fraternity trying to fight me. I wasn't like I could have stayed in my apartment room, but I walked outside in front of 13 people and got hit a couple times. It took out a few, but got hit a couple times. So I'm not a stranger to altercations, but I am fearful of losing who I am, losing sight of things because of a moment of animal-based thinking, rage, uh, losing control of my emotions, all the things that I've been working on, building on for the past year and a half. I don't want to throw all that out the window for a guy I don't even fucking know, and he's got to be relatively courageous to, if you ask me, to want to stand his ground, even though he doesn't know why he's doing it in that moment. So I don't know. I thought that the best way to do things was to disarm him by humanizing him and humanizing both of us. At one point in the conversation, I told him, I'm like, yo, we're both people. We both probably struggle in different ways, and you know, we we're probably more similar than you think. But we don't have to do this. And yeah, so I'm appreciative of that, and I think there's just a big emphasis on the when we see the people around us, they could potentially be out to get us or are enemies. But like in all reality, that's very like matrix based thinking, where it's the people around us are enemies, and they're just broken people, like they're traumatized people just like us that haven't worked on our trauma, so they might have like behavior like a hurt animal to snap or go into their emotions more. So I'm appreciative of that situation. I'm glad I got their name at the end of it, all their names at the end of it. They humanized me too. They told me that they see me at a different gym, so clearly we both saw each other at some point. That's another thing. It's like I don't really like subscribe to the idea of pretending not to see people, because it's of two things. It's first off, you're not confident in who you are, or you're not able to you don't want to have to perpetuate that image of who you think you are, or you're just you're you don't want to give that person importance. But yeah, especially with guys, like this is not a zero-sum game. Like if he wins, it doesn't mean that I lose. Logically, that doesn't fucking make sense at all. Like it doesn't make sense unless we're both, you know, um, fighting for not fighting, but like we're both going for the same exact position. But even then, you can still have a level of humanity and understand that there are all kinds of things in the world. Just because he gets a shiny toy does not mean that I will never get a shiny toy. There are many shiny toys in the world. There are many SpongeBob plushies in the world. Just because, like, if he gets a SpongeBob plushie, shit, maybe I get a Patrick one. It would probably match my level of intelligence. So hats off to those guys. I'm glad it didn't go further than it had to. Because at the end of the day, even if they fought me, I wouldn't fight back. I mean, my one of my cousins attacked me physically last year. Physically put his hands on me, he scratched on my chest. The whole time I didn't fight him back because that's not who I want to be. In those moments, that those moments define me because those are the moments where like the stress is so direct to my nervous system that it's meant for me to break into being just an animal. And I'm not just an animal. I'm of the most intelligent species on the earth, like a human. So I don't need to, like, I can use logic and reasoning. I can use a certain part of my brain, to prefrontal cortex, to reason what makes sense and what doesn't. In this situation, it did not make fucking sense. There's nothing that I get out of fighting a group of brothers. First of all, I probably would never like, I would get kicked out of the gym that I've been going to for years, and then there's nothing. There's literally nothing I would win. There's nothing other than if I was actually dumb as fuck, probably like an ego, and that would last all of like 20 seconds. But not even that. For me, not that. Definitely not that. Because if I actually found fulfillment enjoying that, then I'm far gone.